Welcome to another episode of the Fortis After Hours podcast. I'm your co-host Nate, joined by my wife Liz,
Hey.
and our little minion Toby. He decided to join us for the podcast today. We'll see.
We'll see how long he stays.
Yeah, we'll see how long this lasts.
It's a debate.
If you watched the video episode from a few weeks ago, you can see him going up and down and all around.
Yeah, he was not.
I can't remember.
He was not having that. I think that was the last one we did. We didn't do one last week, so I think it was the one before that.
Yeah. What were we doing last week?
I was at a funeral.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie, we've had so many traveling things that I legitimately was like, where were we last week?
Well, I was at my grandma's funeral.
Yes, I recall. Yeah, because I just talked to myself for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But at least you had a safe trip.
I did.
And a smooth trip back.
I did.
But today we are recording this podcast on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
Welcome
Day.
to the show.
Oh, thanks.
I figured what better topic than just discussing kind of like how our relationship has grown stronger over the years and giving people a little bit of an insight into exactly how our relationship works, because I think we have a pretty unique relationship compared to, I don't know, a lot of the world.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other people that, run businesses with their spouses. I know there is. But we not only do that, we also train together, we coach each other, and run the gym together.
Basically, we're together 24/7.
Yes. So I figured we kind of dive into that today and give people a little bit of insight on how our relationship works and how we're able to be together 24/7. And then give you guys a little takeaway at the end, because there's something that you always hear, but I've actually learned it from like personal experiences, and that is you're always going to be stronger together. So we'll get to that later on.
Okay.
But it's very, very hard to do something great and amazing by yourself.
That is true.
There are people that have probably done it, but most people that are doing things that are great have a team of people surrounding them and supporting them.
That is true.
So anyways, so it's not going to be like, we're not going like full romance episode or anything like that.
No.
But what we are going to be talking about is kind of like redefining strong, because strength is not just in the gym, but is also can be built in your relationships, and kind of talk about how we've built that over the years, because I think it is pretty interesting. I feel like in our early days together, so wait, we've been together 11 years now? And then almost 10 years married.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was making sure I didn't botch that. I was pretty certain. And, really, I guess like what I wanted to talk about today was kind of like when we bought the gym. Because that's really when we started, well, I guess before, when we were kind of like training each other sort of.
Yeah.
But it really kind of like, we're going to, in reference, like talk about more like from the gym, buying the gym on, so 2018. So we were together for a little bit already. Liz was a teacher, I was a coach and trainer, and I worked at a gym that was previously down here, and then we bought the gym, and then all of a sudden we went from kind of a more like traditional like relationship type thing where it's like you both go to work and then you see each other at night, like that kind of thing, to like 24/7 all the time.
Well, that wasn't right away. That was because I was still teaching for a couple of years. It wasn't really till COVID.
Sorry,
And
that's
then I
what
went
meant.
and taught for like another year.
Okay,
and
so
then it was like 2021, really.
Yeah, my bad. Erase my timeline. It's 2021 is what I was talking about.
So not 2018.
Yeah, really when we started doing like everything together. Because that's where I think like we really actually grew really close and stronger together. Because I feel like that was a potential where like we probably could have like, there could have been like more of a divide and like more friction.
Yeah.
But we were able to kind of work through that and get close together. So initially, how do you think like I know, like we'll talk about the gym first. Like, how do you feel in the beginning when you started like working at the gym full time? It was like coming to work together, and I guess like how confusing was it for you?
Well, I just didn't really know what to do, because I would ask what to do and you wouldn't know what I could do either. I think just because you were so used to just doing everything by yourself on your own. And I think that you didn't really know necessarily what to have me do, because it was just, you had spent so much time, 3 years, basically,
solo,
doing everything.
Thank you for your input, Toby. Thank you. Toby did want a podcast today.
Apparently. But anyways, because you'd done everything, which was kind of part of what we had said when we bought the gym, because I was still teaching, so I kind of said, this is yours, you can do it, or we can do it, whatever, but it's yours, you have to do it.
Yeah.
So you did, which is
what I needed to do at the time,
but then when I did leave teaching and came here full time, I was just lost. And I do very well with structure and routine and a plan and directions, and there was none of that.
No.
Because you did not do any of that.
No, I did not.
It was essentially just kind of survive, I think, when I wasn't here.
Well, see, in my brain it wasn't, but that's actually what was happening,
Yeah, it was just kind of survive and just do the things whenever things got done, and there was no order. It was just...
There was no order.
It was just chaos.
I must have order.
It was chaos. I do not thrive in chaos. I like structure very much.
Yeah.
So it definitely was very challenging for me, because I just didn't know what to do. There was no direction. There was no anything. And I think it was also hard for you just because you didn't really know how to relinquish anything or delegate anything.
I also struggled with the idea. I didn't really think about that, basically. So when we had talked about, because this was planned, we had talked about Liz quitting teaching and moving into full-time gym ownership, managing, whatever, with me. I just kind of was I don't know why I was like this is my mistake, but in my brain I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, she's gonna do that, then we'll be good to go, and we'll just start doing it. And I had no concept of
plan.
And so I still remember one of the
Chaos.
first few days we drive to the gym together, and you're like, so what should I do today? I was like, I don't know. I was like, dude, because in the beginning you didn't have too many clients, things like this.
Yeah.
So Liz had probably honestly quite a lot of free time that I misused, or we could have probably done something with, but we didn't. So I was
sure didn't.
What? And that did take a little bit of adjustment and time for me to kind of figure out, okay, Liz is good. So just some of the things so that people know, some of the things that you do now, Liz does a ton of programming, online coaching, feedback for people, at an extremely high level, I would say. You really pour your heart and soul into that. She's on the computer, I don't know, 3 hours-ish, maybe 3 to 5 hours a day, just between writing stuff, responding to people, critiquing videos, things like this. So that's one really big thing that she does for the gym and for our brand as a whole. So she handles all the powerlifting program, in case people didn't know that. So she's the one that writes the powerlifting program. I do not. I only have my personal clients. I don't do the general programming. And then she also now handles billing stuff. And I feel over time, you've kind of learned a bunch of little things that I also do, but now you know how to do them as well.
Yeah,
we kind of do it together.
There's some stuff that we both do, just kind of depending on who talks to us about it, with billing stuff or updating a card on file or just simple things like that.
Yeah, and I feel that's the best. In my opinion, that's the best or the best way to handle it. So it's you have the one thing you're really, really good at, and then you know how to do the other stuff that needs done for the business, but we kind of split that based off, like Liz said, kind of who asks, when, whatever. And then the other thing that you do really good now is this thing.
I write on the whiteboard.
Yeah, Liz writes on the whiteboard, which sounds silly, but I'm gonna tell you.
Brings me back to my teaching days.
Yeah, Liz can whip out a quality whiteboard, boom, off rip, easy. For
I
me,
need some new markers though.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Get some new ones.
I threw away 3 of them.
Oh.
I was gonna use Valentine's Day colors for the board.
Yeah,
all the pink and red
swing and a
ones
miss.
were dead.
That looks like the Joker.
That's not Valentine's Day.
But yeah, so that's another thing that Liz exclusively handles. And then the other thing that she recently, surprisingly, has taken on, which is ironic because she's always before was like, I cannot come up with topics for videos. So she like she pretty much manages my video project, which has been fantastic. I don't exactly know how you decided you were going to do this, but you did, and now you're good at it.
Because
so cool.
There was no organization.
Now
and
there
then
is.
It was chaos, and my brain hurt because there was no plan, and I knew I was going to help with it. And so I knew if I needed to be able to help with it, I had to have some kind of like plan and structure, or else my brain was going to implode because I don't thrive in chaos.
Yeah. And
Again.
I feel like somehow you knew that I was going to fail without you because, or it would take way longer, because it definitely would take me way longer if I was doing it by myself.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, that's actually a really great example, which I did touch on a little bit, but like when I decided fully that I was going to do this is why we're a great team, because I am, of the two of us, like definitely the person that will come up with an idea that seems impossible or like maybe stupid, or it might actually be dumb.
It might.
But I will get
happen.
it done. I will get it done. And then oftentimes, not always, because sometimes it's just a mistake, but oftentimes or sometimes I'll do these things that in the beginning Liz is like, I don't know. And then I do them and you're like, okay. Like, and like the whole time, like, I feel like you always just support me in what I do.
Sometimes I don't think it's like a bad idea. I just want you to like kind of slow down and
Yeah.
think about it a
That's
little
what I'm
bit.
saying. Like Liz would be like for the video thing, like
impulsive.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna do the video every day, and Liz is like, what?
Yeah.
And then you go, which I think I literally said this in the last episode. She was like in the past, maybe I didn't. I was talking to some clients about this, but like, I was like, or you're like, yeah, like, I mean, you've tried that and haven't filmed like 1 or 2 a week. So how are you gonna do it every day? I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. But here we are, like whatever days in, almost 50, and we're doing really good. And my point of all that story is that without her help, I do not think it'd be going, or definitely not going as well as it's going. So that's just, I feel like, a good example of how we work together.
Yeah.
Work well together. Because if we were both, yeah, Toby agrees. Okay, buddy. If we were both like more impulsive, Toby. Okay. All right. But yeah, I feel like if we were both more impulsive, then I feel like nothing would get done.
Yeah.
And then if we were both super structured, then I feel like also nothing would get done in a different way.
A good balance.
It's a good balance. So anyways, I feel like in the early days, we didn't fully recognize our strengths and weaknesses. And over time, we've kind of just naturally worked hard together. I think that's the one thing that is key in our relationship is we both work really hard and we'll do kind of whatever it takes to get the job done. And along the way, we've kind of found some good different like roles and things like that seems to work well together.
Yeah, I agree. And I think part of it too is like I did get like, I don't know, I just would start doing things even if you didn't tell me to do them or it wasn't like.
Which is that's also
like
something
you didn't,
I like.
Delegate things or ask things. Like I was just like, well, this needs to be done and so I'll do it. Like it was never like big things, but just like little things here and there. I'd be like, this needs to be done, or I would tell you things that need to be done or like things that you need to create or whatever.
Oh, like another example. Here's a real life example for you guys. The other day. So like the other day, so I do all the designing stuff. That's just like what I like to do.
Yeah, someone asked me today like how I like something about coming up with the new logo. I was like, that wasn't me. Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Not it.
But one of my biggest like weaknesses is that I am like kind of like I'm like I guess like perfectionist sort of, like I like think too much about stuff. Like I'll like make something, and actually the new logo, another sidebar story. Here's some more Fortis lore for you guys. Yeah. I had
also this happens a lot.
Okay, but I had come up with that logo, but I had 2 Fs, and I really just didn't like the 2 F look anymore. I just wanted to go with one symbol that would represent our brand. And then Liz just goes, like, she's like looking at all my stuff, and I'm like, because basically I'm like, screw it, I got to start over. And then Liz is like looking at the thing, and my drawings, and she's like, why don't you just take off one of the Fs? And I was like,
it was real simple.
And then there we go. So, there's that. And then
real simple.
Recently, like as far as more of a workflow example, so we wanted to create a fun post for our Fortis powerlifting team going to nationals, just kind of highlight them. because it's, a lot of time, money, dedication to go to a bigger meet like that. So we wanted to highlight everybody, and we needed a post, obviously, to do that. And basically, Liz just kind of was like, all right, this is what I'm looking for. I want this. I was like, all right, I could do that. And then I just cranked it out. And
I organized it. I collected the pictures.
Exactly. She did all the other stuff. With the significance of that is that really just allowed me to do what I like to do, which is the designing. And I cranked it out I don't know, maybe a couple hours from start to finish with people talking to me, not fully focused type thing.
Yeah.
Usually that would probably take me days if I was doing it myself. Because I'd be getting the pictures.
Getting distracted.
I'd be getting distracted. And that's a prime example of how we work well together, running the gym. So that's kind of running the gym. I feel like how we work well together. Now for coaching, that's been a wild journey. And
it was wild.
We've talked about that a lot on the podcast, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But basically, when we first started,
it was terrible.
Yep. Okay. It wasn't that bad. Jeez. My word.
It was rough.
But yeah, it was pretty bad. So I was coaching Liz. I don't know why that happened. Well, I think I was coaching Liz, and then she tried a couple other programs, and then those didn't work, or something happened during the peak, and then, long story short, I started coaching Liz again, and in the beginning it was real bad. So the problems, I'll tell you, were probably on both of our sides, but a lot was on my side, I will tell you right now, because number one, I found it very, it was difficult to figure out, I'm at one point I remember I was like, all right, husband Nate, coach Nate. I could not figure out
to have two separate.
Yeah, to communicate.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure that out. The other thing is that a fundamental thing about my wife that you guys might not know is that sometimes Liz just needs to be left alone.
I do.
And when I was younger, in our relationship, I just did not comprehend that. I'm like, no.
Why would anyone want to be left alone?
Nope, you need to be not left alone. You need help. Let me encourage you.
Nope.
And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. So I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I think she needs some encouraging words or a hug or whatever. No. So that was a big problem. And then what was the other kind of problems? I feel like we would argue a lot about it.
Yeah. I don't even.
Yeah, I don't even.
I've tried to forget that.
Yeah, I don't really fully remember all of it.
Rough.
But yeah, it was not good. And yeah, that was in the beginning. And then I think just over time, we just kind of kept at it. And over time, I think I probably, because I think a lot of it was my problem. And I think over time, I got a little bit better with, number one, sometimes just realizing I don't know, you'd be upset or whatever. I'm that's just what you got to do. And then number two, I feel I got a lot more patient with just all right, we just need to work through this together, and a lot more listening. And then now we have, I feel probably one of the best coaching relationships that we could have, each one of us do, which is fantastic. And I think a lot of that too, that's the other thing, is in the beginning, Liz was a full-time teacher and she kind of dabbled into the fitness space, but wasn't really a coach, or you didn't really have as much knowledge as you do now.
No.
And I feel
this was.
But you're also kind of an independent person. So,
yeah.
I'd be all right, we need to do this. And Liz would be like,
Well, and I think some of it, I like control of things.
Yeah.
Hence the planning and organizing and the nice little type A personality that I am. And if I couldn't control something with my lifting or with the programming, sometimes I just couldn't control it, or I would fail or whatever, and then the whole world would end. I also had issues with failure.
I was gonna say that was a big thing.
I mean, I still don't
We've
like
talked on
failure.
That before.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes to fail, but I have learned that it is part of the process, where at the time I did not know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did, but I couldn't. I couldn't.
That was legit.
But I couldn't.
It was wait, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, so now.
So I've also grown as a person.
Yes.
And an athlete, both, which
and
I think has helped. Well, yes, and a coach.
And I feel all three of those things have helped a lot.
Yes.
And now, so basically, how do we get through it? We just kind of kept going one day at a time. And I learned, I was okay, well, there's at least some things that I can control. Because weirdly, I don't know, I don't think I have like a type A personality, but I also like to be in control. We have 2 people in this relationship that like to be in control at all times.
It's fun.
Yeah, we just take turns, like Captain Phillips. I'm the captain now. You know that line? No, of course not. Liz, my wife's movie, I don't know, whatever.
No.
Movie Rolodex is not existent.
Correct.
Except for Harry Potter. Even Harry Potter, sometimes I'm like, yeah, like, do you know this song? She's like, no.
I don't know the songs.
From Harry Potter? They're very distinct sounding.
There's like one that I could tell you.
That one?
Yeah,
Okay.
The
like
main
the
one.
theme song?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
That's the only one.
All right. So anyways, so now we have a pretty awesome coaching relationship, like both of us. It's kind of like collectively we just coach each other is basically how I describe it.
Yeah. We like co-coach each other.
Yeah.
We're like coach and assistant coach for each other.
Yeah, exactly. Because we both are like pretty good at like kind of knowing what we need. Like we've both been just lifting for a long time at this point. And I just think both of us, ironically, it's just more help with making sure our numbers are on track, not too heavy, because both of us like to go too heavy. So it's about that. And then we sometimes, we'll have to think a little outside of the box for the other person, which seems to be helpful because we're both very like focused. We have a lot of stuff going on in our lives. So like the training is just like more like get in, train, get out. And sometimes, especially when you're trying to make progress after a long time, we've both been lifting for a long time, over 10 years for both of us. And like progress sometimes is not just like this, like, oh yeah, just go here. It's sometimes you got to go like, and then you make progress.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, yeah, and sometimes you go, and then you just fail again.
Exactly. That's why I said, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you got to try it again.
Which happens. And honestly, I will say that's another thing that works really well for us in our relationship is with the coaching aspect and the athlete aspect. Liz is very much like, you just got to execute. You just got to get it done because that's what you have to do because these are the rules. Yep. And I was not really like that, but I've become better at that where it's like some days, like I'm just like deadlifts the other day. That did not, I was like warming up. I'm like my hip was a little tight from something earlier in the week and I don't know, I wasn't feeling great. But then I just kind of put on my big boy pants. I'm like, we got to get this done. And then I did.
Time to execute.
And like, that is not from me. That's like something I've learned from you, I feel like. And then in the same way, like ironically, we don't really fail, either of us, too often now. Because we have a pretty good handle of where we're at generally most days. But sometimes failure does happen. But I never had an issue with that because I learned that I played like sports all my life and like, I was accustomed to failing. Like, I'm just like, it's fine, like it happens. I didn't let it like beat me down basically. I'd just be like, okay, yep. And I think like that really helped. Like, I feel like our coaching relationship, coach athlete, whatever, like us just like working together because, sometimes with Liz would fail, I'm like, all right, next thing. And you're just like, well, wait, what about the fail? I'm like, doesn't matter. Going on to the next thing. And I feel like, again, your example, like I feel like if we were both like that, like we're both like, oh, failing.
Yeah.
Then like, we'd be wallowing. Or in the other aspect, if we were both like, just got to get it done, that's the rules. And then you don't get it done one day, you know what I mean? Or something like that, then, then that doesn't work as good. So I feel like that kind of balances out together.
Yeah. It's a good little balance.
Yeah. I feel like we balance out each other very well.
Coaching and training together.
Yeah. Something that's been key also for us doing all these things together is that we do, I feel like, a pretty good job at communicating. And I feel like over time, or it's not over time, just like in general, you could always be better at communicating if you're in any type of relationship, whether it's a work relationship or maybe coach-athlete relationship. Like, that's something I feel like as humans, kind of like lifting, you could always just get a little better. You know what I mean? But I feel like...
Well, yeah, because you could be good at like communicating with one person, but maybe with another person is not good at communicating with them. So you have to like learn their communication style. Yes.
That is something that I had to learn.
Weird.
But I feel like over the years, I feel like I've learned quite a lot. All right. Because before I just used to like talking a lot. Now I still like talking a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that hasn't changed.
Okay. All right. But I also know, you know, sometimes you just like Liz will just need like some time, and like it's almost like sometimes for Liz, like the best communication is no communication.
Yeah. Just let me be.
Yep. You just gotta like.
And that's okay.
She's like a teapot. You just gotta let her like cool down a little bit.
Gotta simmer.
Cool, yeah, gotta simmer down, like cool down.
Yep.
And yeah, so I feel like we do a good job communicating. Is I guess my point. And I feel like in that sense, I don't think that was ever something we set out to be like, yeah, let's be good at communicating. I feel like that was kind of baptism through fire. Like because of all the stuff we do together, it's like, well, like we have to be in a constant communication to make sure everything's running smoothly.
We probably definitely had very different communication styles, obviously. Like, I didn't like talking at all, really.
Yeah, one of us was communicating and the other one was not at all.
So I also had to learn to talk more.
Yeah. But it's like, again, it's been, I feel like a balance, because it's like, yeah, I definitely talked way too much before, like earlier on in our relationship. And it's like, I just need to shut up.
Yep.
And then now that's still like, I'm like, okay, I just need to be quiet. But I feel like it's much more balanced. Like, I've gotten a lot better, I feel like, at like, okay, sometimes I just need to not be talking. And then, yeah, you definitely talk way more than before, which I feel like has helped us grow and grow the business and coaching together.
Yeah.
Because you can't do either of those things without communication.
Correct.
And then, you know, something else that I wanted to talk about was the fact that we just have very different strengths. Like, so we're both like I said, like a core value, I guess, of both of us as like human beings is that we both work very hard, and I am confident that I can pretty much accomplish anything that I decide to do. And I am confident that my wife, Liz, will also be there accomplishing whatever we decide to do together.
He has the confidence for me, so.
Basically. But I feel like you have also like I feel like maybe you don't have like the confidence as much for like the impossible things, but like, you know, you can do the daily things. And that's the thing. It's like.
Oh yeah, they just have to be done.
They just need to be done, exactly. And that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I might have the confidence for like the crazy things, which I also have because if you have confidence for the crazy things, you also have to be okay with failing big, which I am.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But Liz,
I
feel
like
like
that.
Yeah, I feel like something that we're both really good at is like, we both can just get the daily things done. Like, this is what I do, this is what needs done, this is how we do it. And honestly, some things that I've learned from Liz, because a big thing that she's really good with, which we touched on in the beginning, is structure. Very good at structure, and she's accomplished so much in her life with structure before like I even met Liz, and then has continued to accomplish stuff with structure, just pure structure, planning, whatever you want to call it, but structure is a good term. And like Liz said, I used to be just like all over the place, and somehow I'd still always get everything done, but like, I could not tell you. I still to this day right now, like, I'm not entirely sure how I survived, like when we first were opening the gym.
I don't know.
I don't really know that answer.
I don't know.
And sometimes people like talk about it, like members that have been with us this whole time, and I'm like, Like they'll talk about like things I did or said. I'm like, okay.
There's definitely like chunks of time that are just kind of missing from my brain, I think.
Same here.
Yeah.
Might be like stress induced.
Probably.
Who knows? That's how, yeah. No, I feel the same way. And what I was going to say, and I've touched on this before, I'm telling you guys right now, planning and structure is no joke. That enables you to do way more than just being like chaotic and all over the place. Because I was able to get the stuff done that I needed to get done, but there was no real room for like furthering myself, the gym, trying to grow, because I was just too busy like
surviving.
Surviving, exactly. And you know, it wasn't until I was kind of like, I don't know, like I would just kind of recognize like, I'm like, like Liz would like come up with a plan or a structure for something, and then we do it, and it's like 10 times easier is what I noticed. I was like, oh,
weird.
Like not that it was getting done, because like I said, I'll get stuff done. That's not a question, or like something that I needed like help with. But what was something I needed help with, I was like, well, that was like 80 times easier than before. And then I started like also putting plans into place, which that's still something I could do better at, I think. But like, I at least have like recognized this now and do use plans.
Yeah.
And we've been able to, you know, like one of the things that I think is crazy that we were able to do All right, and we're back. My camera stops recording at like 30 minutes, so that's where we're at these days. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this is a small personal goal. I'm not getting a new camera until we finish out the entire year of posting. So, stay tuned, you guys. We're on day, like, I don't know, 44 or something? 45?
Yeah.
But we're going strong. If you have not checked out the YouTube channel, check it out. If you're watching right now on the YouTube channel, please subscribe. Thank you. Anyways, so to kind of wrap everything up and together, kind of what I said in the beginning, I just wanted to touch on the fact that like real strength is built together. And I think, I have no doubt that me and you both could be very strong and like successful on our own. But I don't know if we'd be as strong or as successful as we are together. And I think that that is something that you should think about when you guys are in the gym, when you're at work, when you're at home, is that, you know, you can do amazing things on your own as just a human being. Like, humans are amazing creatures. However, you will be able to do much more amazing things and like great long-lasting things if you work together with someone, other people in your life, whatever, not necessarily just a partner.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a significant other partner. Like literally just like have a best friend, have someone that you work with, that you work very well with, like at your job, have a solid training partner.
I would say training partner, coach, people that you work together with, because when you have other people that are in your circle, so to speak, and you're all working towards a similar goal, and again, it doesn't need to be the same goal. That's our whole redefining strong thing. Like, it's gonna look different. Like, but you know, that's something that's so unique about our gym that I think is so cool, is that we have people squatting, you know, 300 pounds, we have people squatting 30 pounds, we have people squatting 600 pounds. And, you know, it's really awesome to see all that happening in one building. Because oftentimes you see just the 3 pounds, or just the 30 pound squats, or just the, you know, 300 pound squats, or just the 600 pound squats. Like, it's kind of like separate, like, gyms. And, you know, our gym has a way of kind of bringing everyone together under one roof. And I just think it's one of the most awesome things, seeing, you know, like yesterday I had a class, or a group personal training session rather, and one of our members is 72, and they're cheering on and watching someone hit a lifetime PR squat triple, and then someone else hits a lifetime PR deadlift triple, and they're just so excited for them. And like, they have no, like, I don't know, like
they don't
reference
compete in
point. Yeah, they don't know.
either.
Yeah,
like,
but they just can tell that this means like something to them, and they're excited about it. And I think that's so cool to see in our gym, like everyone kind of supporting each other, and that it's kind of like that intangible, like human energy that I don't like to talk about too much, but it is a thing. And like, you know, it does stack up over time. And if you have the support of others, then I really think you can achieve a lot more than you maybe think you're capable of.
I agree.
So
it's important.
Yeah, moral of the story, don't be a loner.
Find your people.
Yeah, find your people. Don't be a loner.
Find your person.
And don't be too, I guess, prideful to like think like, oh, I don't need this, that, whatever. Like, be open to like, you know, the support of others, and like, you know, like, they don't need to be, that's, I think, something in the powerlifting space, sometimes it gets a little weird. Like, they don't need to be lifting the same weights you are lifting. I'm sorry, but they don't. You know, I tell Joel all the time, but I'll just say it here for the record, like, we train together, we do not lift the same weights. However, that dude pushes me every day because he's in here, like, giving it his all, just like I'm giving him my all. So I'm like, well, like, he's doing it, so I gotta do it, you know what I mean? Or like, and like, I love training with Joel. Like, we train together, and like, that's like something we enjoy, or, you know, we enjoy to do. Same thing, all right, Toby. Same thing with, you know, when me and you are training together. Like, we're both lifting like our respective weights, and like, they're not the same, but like, you'd be surprised. Sometimes in the powerlifting space, it's like, oh, well, that's a different weight. It's like, yeah, but for Liz, this is like a crazy elite squat or whatever. Like, or in your better dots than me case, actually stronger technically. But my point is like, as long as you have people that are like pushing each other, like, and trying to get better in their own right, and that you could tell they're actually like working hard, like, that's really what matters, in my opinion, when you're training.
I agree. Having people that have like good energy, they're there for the right reasons, they're just here to show up, do some work, and make themselves better.
Exactly. And I think if you can be open to that, I think great things can happen in your life, whether you think so or not.
I agree.
Moral of the story, take time to build and strengthen relationships with others around you, whether it be maybe your partner in life or a friend, coach, training partner. Those relationships are quite literally what makes us human in a world that is increasingly becoming AI ChatGPT. So I think those relationships are going to become more and more important over the next 10 years, probably than ever before. So
Yep.
try and hold on to those, build those up, and do not take them for granted. Because I think, like I said, that's probably one of the most important things you can have is a strong relationship with someone else in your life.
I agree.
All right, well, that does it. Toby is tired of our shit. He's like, all right, guys, I'm
Good
done.
night.
I'm going to sleep.
He didn't sleep last night, so we got to make up for that.
That's true.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another episode of the podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you guys are following along on YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. The goal is to get to 500 subscribers in 50 days. We're kind of close, but it's okay. We're going to get to 500 subscribers either way. Someday. But for now, we're really close to 400. So if you want to consider subscribing, that would be fantastic. So that way we can continue to grow and share kind of our message with people all around the world, not just in Marius or Florida. And yeah, also shout out to those of you that have been listening to the podcast for years and years. We really appreciate your support.
Thanks.
And we are here for you. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode. It will not be next week. I'm traveling next week. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.
Bye.